Hey everyone, DarkDragoon here with Season 2, Episode 42 of my FTB Modpack Let's Play. As I am just logging in here, you guys can see we're on a Thaumcraft base, which can really only mean one thing, Thaumcraft stuff. Yeah, fun. This is pretty much going to be step 2 on our road to working on something cool and crazy and fun. So I'm going to get started by just making a couple golems. And it looks like we have a little bit of, I think we have a little bit of modus in a jar somewhere, but it might not be 8. Let's take a look around and see what's going on. No, we should have plenty of modus. I'm not sure. There we go. That's why. I pulled my wand out earlier. So we're going to need a bit of this Imperito, which we should be able to get from our blue Zycorium. So 4 of those should do the trick, unless that's 8 per. We'll find out here in just a second. So 4 of these in our crucible should work. Okay, yeah, that's going to be 8 per, so we're still going to need 12 to go in there. We might not have enough modus in our jar, but we'll see here in a second if we need more. Yeah, we'll probably need a bit more. Oh. They went ahead and grabbed what we needed out of there, unfortunately. We'll just throw it back in. Have to do it one at a time. It's not too big a deal. Alright, so we're going to have to find a bit more modus. Oh, why is that? Okay, there we go. Let's see, modus. That comes from... I'm trying to remember what's a good source of modus. I want to say Quicksilver is what I'm thinking. It's 1 per. Is there a better source of it? Probably, but I'm not seeing any. So, yeah, we'll go with Quicksilver. We'll end up putting a lot of spare random stuff into our lembics, but that's okay. Alright, there we go. And the golem should zip around and clean up the mess a little bit. We have a lot of just random little bits lying around in here. Okay, so we've got our golem animation cores. Now it's time to get working on our golems, and we're going to make just a couple different kinds, but we're going to start off with a bunch of wheat. And we're also going to make just a regular wooden golem. Let's see, so we're going to need some great wood logs, and I'm pretty sure we don't really have any of those lying around. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and make these. We're going to want to upgrade these golem cores into something else. And let's see, we need 2 of you, and I believe a water shard. Because we're going to make 3 golems. I just went ahead and made some of that. So we're going to need some cognitio now. And we can get that from paper or zombie brains. Zombie brains being the obviously more... having more of it, but it also has a lot more of this random stuff. Let's take a look at sugar canes and see what paper has. Paper is just going to put water. How much did it need? 12. It needed quite a bit. And our brains produced 4 apiece, so basically it's 3 brains per. So yeah, we'll just go ahead and use the brains. Probably, there's one other thing I probably need to do, and that's probably smack these alembics and release this stuff into the atmosphere. I normally wouldn't, but we need the space in our alembics, so it's not too much. It shouldn't cause too many problems. So let's just throw our brains in. Cool. And that should do it once we put our wand in. There we go. We're going to make intelligent cores. Because we want these straw workers to be very smart. We want them to be able to... Okay, it looks like we don't have quite enough yet to deal with. We want them to be smart enough to not knock down the whole stock of what we're going to be using them for. So, that done, we should just be able to do like so. And we just need some soul, which we should have plenty in our soul sand. It should be 8 per, so there we go. And just toss that in there. There we go. So 1 straw golem worker. And of course we have stuff flying all over the place. Where's our... Should have plenty more lying around. What's going on here? Alright, golems, what are you doing? Well, that's strange. It seems to have eaten up all of the animus, even though it shouldn't have. That is not good. Okay, well, I thought we had enough. That's okay, no problem. We'll just get some more. Yeah. So we need 8 Victus, so that's going to be 4 wheat. Put that in there. And some more soul sand. There we go. And another straw golem worker. That'll give us 2. And of course, our golems will run around and try to manage this stuff for us. So, cool. So now we've got our workers. Let me go out into the world. I'm going to go find a great wood log, and as soon as I do, I'll be back. Alright, I believe I found one just in time for the sun to start going down, of course. I think this is a great wood. Yeah, it looks to be. Also, we'll have our jetpack on, so this should be a little bit easier to work with. Let's fly to the top of it. I probably should have made another fun toy from Thaumcraft to make this a little bit easier, but I'm pretty sure that would require a bit more research. So, yeah, let's make sure we have great wood. Yep, great wood logs. So yeah, so there you guys go. Great wood tree, pretty simple. Didn't take me too long to find. It was just a little bit to the south of our Thaumcraft base. And pretty much I'm just going to slowly knock this whole thing down because it's pretty big and going to take me a little while. So here you go. Great wood tree. So as soon as this thing is knocked completely down, I'm going to meet you guys back in the Thaumcraft base. Alright, I am back, and I actually managed to get myself a great wood sapling. So we're just going to plop it down right here and let it just hang out. So while that's going, you can see we got ourselves just a little over a stack of great wood logs, which is awesome. So let's pop in here and get this thing made. So we're going to basically take our animation core and combine it with a water shard, because we want this wooden golem to be perceptive. And I don't think we have any carrots here anymore. Oops. Oh, that's where all those were. Okay. So let's see. Probably Quicksilver is the best source of this that we have. And we're going to need 3 Quicksilver. That's not too bad. Again, I'm kind of thinking we're just going to smack these and release all this junk into the atmosphere. It's not good to be releasing it in the atmosphere, but there are worse things, so there we go. And I probably need to get ourselves a couple more warded jars in here, probably a lot more. To be perfectly honest, I kind of hate this room right now, so I've been sort of thinking about possibly, there we go, perceptive core. I've been thinking about possibly basically destroying this whole place and then moving our Thaumcraft base and making it a little more functional, because right now it's kind of a mess. But maybe you guys can let me know if you think I should basically be done with this Thaumcraft base and make a new one that's a little more functional. Let me know in the comments. So anyway, now we just need to put together our golem, which is just made like so. And again, we're just going to need some Victus and some Animus, which shouldn't be too big a deal. So a bit more soul sand. If I recall, I wanted 8, so let's split those up. And we can get Victus from 4 wheat. I hate doing that. There we go. And we should have enough. wood golem worker perceptive. Cool. And let's see, what's our situation over here in our alembics? Looks like we're having some problems with stuff not actually being enough for the golems to work with, but we'll just have to deal with that. Alright, so now that we have our golems, I'm going to put away our wheat and our quicksilver and all this junk, basically. And put that away. And we're going to grab a bit of sugar canes, because we've got a bunch here, I've got more growing upstairs, and we're going to basically use these. We're going to make ourselves a sugarcane farm using golems, which should be really cool. So let me meet you guys back at the factory. Alright, I'm back really quick. I'm checking in on some of my bees before we move on with what we've been working on. And mostly I want to start getting a little bit more stuff done. So you can see that we've got ourselves a cultivated drone here, but it's not a purebred, and I think we actually don't have any. I'm also going to grab a water drone because we're going to deal with that later. I don't think we have any purebred cultivated. In fact, I think cultivated is something that we actually phased out quite a while ago. So basically what I'm going to do is pop in here. You can see I've gotten myself over time a bunch of different serums beyond the lifespan and the productivity serums we were working on. And I'm just going to find our cultivated species, and I'm going to pop that in here and start getting that working. So in the meantime, I also want to check this water drone. It is a water, which is good because that means we can go ahead and get that one started. But before we do, let's make ourselves a few more frames because we're definitely going to need them. You can see I've got myself a bunch of frames just sort of hanging out in here. So let's see here. Impregnated frame. Gonna make ourselves just 3 of these, and then we're gonna upgrade those into these soul frames because we want to start mutating some things. So sun's going down, so I'm gonna try to get this done before it's too far into the night. Just to show you guys, I've been working over here to get myself the ocean bees, and we definitely have them. I'm going to double check these bees though for their genome because, like I've said before, I was having some problems with some of these bees having some weird genomes, so that looks pretty good. So we're going to combine that ocean princess with a water bee. Actually, we're going to put our soul frames in and then put the water bee in there, and hopefully that will turn into something cool. Alright, so all that done, obviously we can't do the other bee that I was holding on to, but that can come later once the extra bee stuff is done, and I'll check on that after we've worked a bit more. So let me sleep through the night. Okay, so it's day again. You can see I've cleared out an area, chopped down our old rubber tree since we're doing that automatically now, and moved some things around. And I think our rubber, or not our rubber, but our sugar canes are going to go right over here, and we're not going to need too many, I don't think. But we also want to be careful, a little bit careful about how far of a range we put these in, because the straw golem workers aren't going to have a huge range. So, and we're not going to need too much of this, I don't think, at least for now. I'm not exactly sure how we want to do. Actually, I do have an idea, but it's going to be it's going to take a minute. So, yeah, so let's just basically get ourselves an area dug out here. We're going to replace, I think 5 should be enough. We'll start with 5 and we'll play around with the golems to see what they'll work on. They're not perceptive, so you got to keep in mind their range is going to be somewhat limited. And because sugar canes like to grow in sand a little bit better than dirt, we'll put the sand down. This is going to be a pretty simple system, but sometimes simplicity is the best way to go. Okay, obviously we can't put these in here yet because we need to get some water in here. And you guys might be wondering, okay, well, if there's water there, how are the golems going to stand there to do anything? Well, you guys will see. I'll show you as soon as I'm ready. Alright, so let's get some water in here. Nothing too fancy, just running a lot of running back and forth to fill this up with water. Probably gonna need, yeah, we're definitely gonna need a lot more water than this. Even if I run to this side. Yeah, gonna need 3 buckets per. Whoop. Tell you what, I like these boots of the traveler. They don't make me get stuck when I fall into things like that. Have to jump constantly just to, whoops, I messed that up a little bit, but not a big deal. Oh, I put it in the wrong spot. Whoops. Alright, well let me finish just putting the water in here off camera. Okay, last bucket of water, going down, done. So let's throw down our sugar canes, just so they can get started growing. They're going to take a little while, so hopefully some of them will have grown by the time we're finished with setting up our golems and everything else. So basically, to fix this little problem that the golems won't be able to stand, we're going to just grab ourselves some wood. We'll go with spruce planks. Should do the trick. And we're going to just make ourselves some covers. Basically, we can put covers over the water so that the plants will still have the water they need, but the golems will be able to stand there. Pretty simple solution, right? Nothing too crazy. Let's just go with panels, just for the... It doesn't need to be super thin. So we'll just put down some dirt to act as a guide. And then we should just be able to make sure you put it on the, not on the water block, otherwise you're going to lose your water. But if you put it above the water block, you're good. Basically, there's little walkways between our sugarcane. Whoops. Come on. What are you doing? Being really pesky. Come on. Right there. There we go. And last row. Okay, so cool. Now we can get rid of this dirt and we should be good to go. One other thing we're going to want is, I'm actually curious about something, and I'm going to make, well, I don't need to make both because I do have a chest, but I'm also going to make myself a barrel because I've not tested this out yet, but I think it'd be really helpful if the golems register barrels as inventories. If they don't, we'll just use a chest, but this would be really awesome and perfect for what we want to do if this works. So we'll find out. So we'll just slap our barrel down there and see if we can't slap our wood golem worker on the back of it. And he fell through the panel. Well, that wasn't exactly what I intended to happen, but it does seem to work. He did go down and it didn't interfere with anything. Oh, he's trying to put dirt somewhere. I'm actually not sure if he can put stuff in the barrel. It does register it as a valid inventory. I'm kind of wondering, let's see here. What if I put dirt in there? Is he smart enough to go in there? Doesn't look like it. Okay, that's fine. Whoops. Oh, that's just perfect. Alright, so it looks like the panels aren't going to work after all. That's a little disappointing. I'm trying to think of another solution. We could just use slabs. It'll look weird, but yeah, let me grab some wooden slabs and I'll be back. Alright, there we go. I just went ahead and put down some of our panels there just to make it look good. So it looks like a little wooden walkway. And you can see our golems having no problem standing on it. So you might, if you don't know what the wooden golems do, I can show you really quickly. The perceptive obviously lets them have a pretty big range, so we should have plenty of range over this whole area. But we'll test that out actually. If you throw something on the ground, the wood golem worker will rush over and grab it. It's not incredibly smart, but he's smart enough to eventually find it, grab it, and put it in the chest we assigned him to. So that's going to be pretty important. And of course he's just standing in our sugar field hanging out. Cool. So basically we have to wait for this sugarcane to grow. But I can just go ahead and do this so that we can, so I can show off these straw golems. Don't necessarily have to do this whole area, but if we're going to show them off, we might as well go all out. Alright, so there we go. So if we put our straw golems down, I'm just going to put them about midway through here. So here. You'll see they'll start smacking the sugarcane and knocking it off. And it's actually really important that they're smart. Looks like he's actually got a really far range. We probably don't need the two. Actually, or we can just make this thing bigger. I kind of like that plan because it seems like he's got enough of a range to cover sort of a 5x5 area, which I like. But he's not incredibly fast, and they start to get a little stupid, but there we go. Oh wow, look at that. He's got a huge range. That's kind of amazing and a little worrisome. So does the wood golem worker. Alright, so apparently this is going to be able to do both sugarcane. I'm definitely going to make this a lot bigger. Look at them. Straw golem guys just going all over the place, doing all sorts of crazy stuff. Yeah. Alright, that's really cool. We'll plop the other one down, and they'll generally stick around this area, I'm pretty sure. I'm a little worried about them going really far off and getting themselves lost, but this is crazy. The nice thing is, too, you'll see that they'll replant as well. So you can see they've been knocking all this stuff off over here, but obviously our wood golem worker is just having a hard time keeping up with it all. That's pretty neat. I honestly didn't think they'd have such a huge range. Alright, so I'm going to sleep through the night, and then I'm going to figure out exactly what we want to do in this area, because this is a lot bigger range than I was expecting. Alright, so I just expanded this out a little bit more. Not too much. But I was doing a little bit of thinking, and as cool it is that they have a really far range, I kind of want to handle the farming of that stuff a little bit differently. And I don't really want anything but sugar to end up over here. Or, yeah, the sugar canes. So, for that purpose, basically, we're going to just get ourselves some fences, and that should be able to limit the area that those guys are going to go. And I'm probably going to pop over to our, let's look at them go. That's really cool, but like I said, not really what I want to have happen. So, because there is actually a reason I'm doing this way, and I definitely want to be able to set this up for some later use. So we're also at the point where we should be able to, pop down over here and just undo some of this, because we really don't need the pig farm anymore, because we went ahead and got our tier 5 spawner, or not our spawner, but our soul shard at the very least. And funnily enough, my chicken shard is coming along pretty nicely, and judging by the number of chickens we see jumping around over there, I know you guys are probably going, wait, you just made that the other episode. Well, by the end of, well, no, probably by the end of this episode, we won't really need it anymore. Mostly we made it just so that we could get ourselves our tier 5 soul shard, and now that we're pretty close, well, once we have that going, what we're sort of slowly working toward, that I'm leaving as a little bit of a surprise, once we have that going, we won't need it anymore, so it won't be a big deal. Yeah, I'm not even going to bother moving those. Well, let's move those pigs. We have a gravity gun. Should be easy. Not that we really need them, but I guess it would have been nice to return them to to the wild, rather. We are returning them to captivity. Look at those chickens. Way too many chickens. So, okay. So let's just finish fencing this in, and we should probably be getting kind of close to the point where we need to call this episode. I'll have to check that as soon as we're done here. So there we go. That should keep our golems fenced in enough that they're not going to go over there. You can already see they're not trying to run over there or to our flax or to our thing there, our cocoa beans. So, they should, between these two straw golem workers and this golem worker, this area should be able to be just fine. It's obviously going to be a slow running farm because sugar canes don't grow particularly fast, but it should do the trick. So there we go. Cool. So all of this done. Let's see here where we are. And yeah, let's give me a minute to figure out where we are, and I'll see if we have time for anything else. Alright, we do have time for something else, and it's going to be another Thaumcraft tool. One that would have come in handy while we're working on our Greatwood tree, but since we didn't have it before, I figured we'd go ahead and make it, and that is the Axe of the Stream. Cool. So let's take a look at this thing. Looks pretty neat. Obviously we're going to need a Thaumium Axe and a Wand of Frost. Not too bad. I'm trying to remember if we have any nuggets in here. We do. Shouldn't be too difficult to put together. Grab a bit of sticks and just a couple of these shards. So just craft these up real fast like so. Just need that and a stick. Should probably make the sticks first. There we go. This shard will give us a wand. And we need a Wand of Frost. Interesting that it's a Wand of Frost, which means we're going to need a couple water shards. And we'll just pop this in here, get this thing made. We've got plenty of that Golem, and we should have arrows aplenty in here. Which, if I recall, are 1 apiece, and the Wand of Frost needs 4, so not too expensive. This tool is going to be really useful. You guys might be wondering, wait, how is this going to be useful? Don't you have Treecapitator? Well, actually, no, I don't anymore. I figured Treecapitator is really nice early on in the game, but it's kind of not necessary later on once you have tools that do the job for you. And plus, I didn't want to update it, to be perfectly honest, and go through all the hassle of putting it in the mod pack, and particularly when I felt like I didn't really need it anymore. So there we go. Thaumium Axe with a Wand of Frost. And obviously we're going to need a bunch of stuff. We're going to need some Instrumentum, which we have in fair abundance in flint. So we need 16 of that. We also need some Modus and some Lignum. Should be able to do that with 8 Amber. And we're also going to need Quicksilver, which we've been using quite a bit of. I actually don't know if we have any Quicksilver here. We do definitely have some at the factory, so that's not... Oh no, we have plenty. So Quicksilver doesn't actually have a lot of Modus, which means we're going to have a lot of leftover. Let me see if I can't find a better source of Modus, and then I'll be back. Alright, I did in fact find a better source of Modus, and interestingly enough, also a better source of that, trapdoors. Should be just fine. We're going to have a little bit of extra of our, tree aspect, but that's okay. I'm not too worried about that. Ow. I swear, give me a couple episodes and we'll get this thing done so I stop hurting myself on the Crucible. There we go. Wait. Probably not next episode, but the episode after we're gonna do this, I swear. So there we go. Axe the Stream. Pretty cool little tool. You guys can see here. It pretty much works on works like a normal axe, except basically instead of chopping down the block you're chopping at, it'll chop the tree down from the top down. So very, very useful for chopping down very tall trees, particularly things like Greatwood trees. So there you go. Pretty neat. Obviously it has durability and we can enchant it. So let me go ahead and grab some XP, enchant this thing, and we'll test this thing out, and that's probably about where we'll call this episode. Alright, let's see what we get. Hopefully something good. I'm hoping for repair. That would be great. Nice. Very nice. Repair 2, efficiency 4, silk touch. That's interesting. That means we could use it on mushrooms. And that would be awesome. Cool, I'm just taking a look here, seeing if we have anything else we want to put on it. Repair 2, as I think, is about as good as we're going to get. Yeah, that's fine. Not too bad. If I can get myself an unbreaking book, I'll probably add that, but the repair is definitely helpful. Alright, I'm going to sleep through the night, and then we're going to test this thing out. Alright, here we go. We are at a tall tree, and normally this would be a problem, but we're just going to smack the bottom with a right click, and in no time at all, this tree came down. See how fast that thing was? We just left click, I believe it'll go slower. Yeah, you can see it's... You might be wondering, okay, it doesn't look like it's doing anything, but if we watch, you can see little bubbles forming up there. And you can definitely see the visuals of breaking logs. Yep, and they're coming down. And in just a couple seconds, we've chopped down an entire tree. And like I said, with the with holding down the right click, you can just really knock down trees fast. So you've effectively got Treecapitator right there. Very, very cool. And of course, it's pulling some energy out of the aura to recharge its durability. One of the main reasons to try to get unbreaking on it is it'll break slower, so it won't have to pull as much. So there we go. And this tree floating above the sky never made much sense, so chop that down. Cool. So we can use this on silverwood trees, we can use this on greatwood trees. We're obviously not really going to be harvesting much normal wood with it, but yeah. Cool, right? So I think that's about where we're going to need to call this episode, except one more thing before we end, and it's going to be, you guys are going to probably scream at me for this, but see this right here? This dispenser? Don't need it anymore. We have a full soul shard. I went ahead and did that off camera. Bam. However, I am not going to completely make this irrelevant. We are going to put a chest there. Basically to collect our eggs and, for some reason, our dispenser. So we'll just basically use this for egg collection now instead of for our chickens. I'll probably kill some more of these because we have a bunch again. So there you go. So, next episode, we're going to be putting together all of these things we've been working on over the past 3 episodes. Going to be putting together our sugar farm and all of our various animals together in a machine that's going to generate some hot dog nuggets for us. That's not actually what they're called, but that's effectively what they are. Nuggets of hot doggy goodness. So there you go. That's what we're going to be doing next episode. So until then, this has been Season 2, Episode 42 of DarkDragoon's Feed the Beast Modpack Let's Play. Hope you guys enjoyed watching, and I'll catch you guys later.